Your child's teacher says they're wonderful, calm, cooperative, listens the first time, sits beautifully, tries hard, never any trouble. And you're standing there thinking, are we talking about the same child? Because at home, it's a different story. Getting dressed is a battle, leaving the park is a meltdown, bedtime takes an hour, and every single instruction gets ignored, negotiated, or argued with. So what is going on? Why does your child seem to save every difficult moment just for you? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. And I promise you the answer is going to change how you see this completely. Let me paint you a picture that might feel familiar. You're at the school gate, the teacher comes over for a quick word. They tell you your child has had a brilliant day, listened well, worked hard, kind to their friends. And somewhere in that moment, a little voice in your head says, why can't they do that for me? And sometimes, not always, but sometimes, that frustration spills out, right there, at the gate, in front of your child. I don't know why you can't behave like that at home. Why do you do as you're told for your teacher, but you don't do it for me? And your child stands there, hearing that they're brilliant somewhere else, but a problem at home. I want to gently ask you something. What does that moment feel like for your young child? They've just had a good day. They've worked hard. They've held it together for 6 hours. And the first thing they hear at pickup is that it isn't enough. I'm not saying this to make you feel guilty. I'm saying it because understanding that moment, really understanding it, is the key to everything that happens next. If ever you find yourself stuck in that moment, not knowing what to say or how to respond calmly, I put together something called the Steady Words Pack. It's a free download with calm, clear phrases for exactly these situations. The link is in the description. Grab it now and then come back. Here's what nobody tells you about children who behave well at school. It costs them something. Holding it together all day, following rules, managing friendships, concentrating and sitting still. That takes enormous effort from a young child. By the time they get to you, the person they love most in the world, they have nothing left. Every difficult feeling they've been storing since 8:30 that morning, it comes out on you. Because you are their safe place. Because home is where they don't have to perform, where they can be messy and difficult and overwhelmed, and still be loved. Your child isn't saving the worst of themselves for you to be cruel. They're saving it for you because you're the one person they trust completely. That difficult behaviour at home, in many ways, is a compliment. It means they feel safe enough with you to fall apart. The child who never shows difficult behaviour at home is often the child who doesn't feel safe enough to. Let that sit for a moment. So, if home is a safe place, why does behaviour still need to be managed? Because safe doesn't mean without boundaries. In fact, the safest places have the clearest boundaries, and this is what a school does that makes a difference. From the very first day, expectations are clear. The rules don't change depending on who's tired. The response stays the same every single time. There's no negotiating on a Monday because it's a fresh week. No extra warnings on a Friday because everyone's exhausted. No different outcome because someone's had a hard day. Children don't behave well at school because teachers are stricter. They behave because the boundaries are completely predictable. And here's the thing about predictable boundaries. They don't just manage behaviour, they create security. When a child knows exactly what will happen, they don't need to keep testing to find out. The testing stops. Not because they're scared, because they already know, and knowing feels safe. So here's the question I want you to sit with. Not why does my child behave at school, but what does school do consistently that I can bring home? Because your child isn't two different children, they're the same child in two different environments. Responding to what's around them. At school, clear, predictable, consistent. At home, sometimes clear, sometimes not. Sometimes this consequence, sometimes a different one. Sometimes one warning, sometimes not. And children are extraordinarily good at reading that gap. They're not being manipulative, they're just doing what all humans do. figuring out where the edges are. So when a parent tells me my child knows exactly what buttons to push, what I hear is my child has learned exactly where the boundaries are. And they move. And that's not a character flaw. That's a child doing what children do. The question is, what do we do about it? This is where things start to shift. And I want to be clear. This isn't about being stricter. It's about being steadier. 3 things that make the biggest difference. First, decide your non-negotiables. You can't be consistent about everything all at once. Pick 3 things. 3 rules that you are prepared to follow through on every single time. Not 10, not 7, 3. Because consistency on 3 things beats inconsistency on everything. Second, your response needs to stay the same. Whatever you say is going to happen, has to happen, every time. Not most times, not when you have the energy, every time. Because the one time it doesn't, your child learns the boundary moves, and they'll keep testing to find out when it moves again. Third, separate the behaviour from the child. This is the most important one. When your child is difficult, they'll not be a difficult child. They are a child having a difficult moment, and those are completely different things. One is about who they are, one is about what's happening right now. Address the moment, not the person. Because the child standing in front of you, who is shouting, refusing, pushing every boundary, still needs to know that you see them. That you're on their side, even in this moment, especially in this moment. If you're watching this and thinking, I want to do this, but I don't always know what to say in these moments. That's exactly why I created the Steady Words Pack. It's a free download. Calm, clear phrases for the moments that usually spiral. Phrases you can actually use in real moments when you're tired and frustrated and you can't think straight. The link is in the description. Go and grab it now before the next difficult moment happens. It takes 30 seconds. And if this video helped you see your child or yourself a little differently today, please subscribe. I post every Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll see you in the next one.